Welcome to Meldon Law and Friends. I'm Jeffrey Meldon, founder of Meldon Law, and we have a great show for you today. We're so excited. This is the week that the Gators start the Billy Napier era, and what an exciting time, man. This is the truth. I got a private tour of the new Hebner training facility at the University of Florida, and what an amazing facility. I think it was 85 or $90 million, and all of the University of Florida athletes are able to go there and have healthy, delicious food. The training facility is amazing. The offices for the coaching team, as well as all of the players, they have their own little offices in the locker room, kind of. It's really amazing what they've done, and it's necessary for the Gator football team to stay in touch with, stay up to date with what's going on in other schools. So we're very excited about that. And my son Kerry and myself got to have a great meeting with Coach Napier in his office. And that was pretty cool. Having a private meeting with the head ball coach, was exciting. And we pledged that Meldon Law would do whatever is necessary to help the Gators succeed. And he accepted our pledge and is going to call on us to help whenever we can. Bunch of things coming up. We got the Meldon Law Facebook page. We're giving away 2 tickets to the Utah game. They're great seats. I think they're on the 35-yard line, 8 rows up from the field. So they're really good seats. And we're giving away a $100 gift certificate to Spurrier's Gridiron Grill along with your ticket, so you can come here before the game and have a good time. We are here at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill podcast room right now. You see coaches' helmets behind us, and it's really kind of exciting. There's a lot going on. Go to Meldon Law Facebook page for all of our giveaways. Some of the other things going on, we're giving away tickets to women's volleyball, who just won a big tournament this weekend, and they're undefeated and ranked in the top 15. We've got our preseason Gator memorabilia giveaway. There's some really cool things there, including signed visors from Steve Spurrier and some cool memorabilia. Check us out. That's going on through tomorrow, actually. The Hippodrome Theater's having a terrific new show starting. We're always supporting the arts. So Hippodrome, again, we have tickets for the Fahrenheit 451 play, along with a $50 gift certificate to Harry's Bar and Grill. And that's right down by the Hippodrome. So you can go down and have a nice dinner, see a show. And the Hippodrome is a state theater for Florida. And it is a terrific venue. The acting is top notch. It's not amateur acting. This is professional acting. And you should really check it out. And let's support the Hippodrome. They've been through some tough times the last few years, as all live performing venues have, and it's time that we, go down and support them, and you'll have a great time besides. So we got that going on. Kentucky football. Meldon Law is doing the Fan Fest for the Kentucky game, which is a week from Saturday, September 10th. Starting at 3:30, Meldon Law will be outside of the O-Dome, the O'Connell Center, right next to the football stadium, doing Fan Fest. And we're going to have Elio Piedra, the music man, making music. And we're going to be giving away all kind of free swag with our Wheel of Fortune. It's very cool. And everybody wins. That's the good thing about going to the Meldon Law swag event we call it Fan Fest because everybody wins a prize. So all you have to do is show up, and you'll be amazed at how much fun we're having. So that's most of what's going on. At the end of September, Meldon Law is sponsoring a year-long exhibit at the Matheson Museum in Gainesville. That's the historical museum for Gainesville and Alachua County. It's been, their collection goes back to the 1800s when Gainesville was just a small town. And back in the 1970s, yours truly founded a place called the Great Southern Music Hall, which was the showplace of the South. And we took the Florida Theater, 800 seats, and turned it into a magical showroom for great artists. And we have now found many of the photographs that were taken back then in the middle 1970s and hired people to tell the story. It's going to be an amazing exhibit. The grand opening for the exhibit is September 30th, Matheson Museum on University Avenue, right next to the library. So you're going to hear more and more about that. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to have symposiums throughout the year where we talk about the evolution of the Great Southern Music Hall and how it came to be. I'm Jeffrey Meldon, again, co-founder or co-owner with my son Kerry of Meldon Law. And we have a very special guest today, Jennifer Ankers. Welcome, Jennifer. How are you doing today?
Great. Thank you for having me.
Well, it's our pleasure. So I understand you're the director of the United Way of Suwannee Valley. Is that correct?
You are correct.
Okay, so most of us have heard of the United Way. Most of us have not heard of the term Suwannee Valley. So why don't you start by telling us where you roam?
Sure. The United Way of Suwannee Valley covers Columbia, Hamilton, Lafayette, and Suwannee counties. So we're North Florida, and we provide services in all 4 counties.
Now, what are some of the agencies that United Way for Suwannee Valley help fund?
We do a community investment fundraising campaign every year, and agencies are able to apply for grants every year from those funds. And so currently we're funding places like Happy House, which is a public child care center that is absolutely amazing. They take such great care of the children. They provide such innovative classes and curriculums. And so we're proud to be a supporter of Happy House, and it's located right in Lake City.
What age group do they service?
They actually serve birth through 6th grade. With COVID, they started to do some unique things, which was very impressive because a lot of children weren't able to study at home. So they were able to do the social distancing in the center, and parents were still able to go to work with a small group of children, of course, and keep the children on task, because we know how the middle schoolers can kind of get a little off track when no one's on them during that time period. So it was a great service that they provided to the community.
So is this after hours, during school hours? When does it?
It's during school hours. So they probably open, around 7 and close around 5 or 6 for working parents.
So if working parents have a child 2, 3, 4 years old, that's a place where they can.
Yes, and they use the funds they receive from the United Way of Suwannee Valley for scholarships for parents who are just returning to work and having trouble affording childcare while getting back on their feet, which is especially needed after COVID, when some of those parents really, they did lose their jobs because businesses closed or shut down. So now they're helping those families get back into the workforce.
And how do folks that want to get involved help that program?
So they can reach out to the program itself. They can reach out to United Way of Suwannee Valley. We do have a website, unitedwsv.org, or Google us, you would find us. And there's many ways to get involved with our community investment campaign. We do fundraising through workplace giving. Employers in our 4-county area allow their employees to donate via payroll deduction. We also have sponsorship opportunities for businesses who would like to use their marketing dollars to get more sponsorship opportunities, and individual donors and volunteers.
So, what's the name of the group again for the kids?
Happy House.
The Happy House. So, everybody listening, if you're up in the Lake City, Live Oak area, Jasper, remember there's resources available. And it's absolutely crucial right now because so many folks are back into the workforce when they were working remotely. It was a little bit different, although I don't know how the heck you can work at home with a bunch of little ones running around.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So, what are some other programs that United Way of Suwannee Valley participate in?
So another agency that we fund is called Suwannee PAL, Police Athletic League, and it's located in Live Oak. And they do such an amazing job. It's really a group of volunteers, a couple, maybe one paid staff, if that, and they provide after-school and summer programming for students who would not have the opportunities to attend such services. So they have football camps, basketball camps, tutoring. It's really an amazing mentorship. It's an amazing program. They have a lot of alumni who went through the PAL program as children and have come back to volunteer. During COVID, they invited me, it was 2020, and they invited me, as they always do, to their end of summer celebration. And I thought, how do they have a summer camp with COVID? And so I went, and it was absolutely amazing. We had done a mini grant for them because of COVID, some dollars we raised from our COVID relief fund. They had completely redone the gym, so they were disinfecting it constantly. All of the children were wearing masks. They were all socially distanced. We guests all had our own table. The coaches' room had plexiglass so that they could still talk to each other throughout summer camp. They showed videos where they were still able to get out and do things. And I asked one of the students how they felt about the masks and the social distancing, and they said, we've learned a lot this summer, and we've learned that our role is to return to school in the fall and teach others how to keep themselves safe and healthy. But that was just amazing. So they really do put the funds that we raise for them to good use.
Well, is it staffed primarily by police officers or other folks in the community as well?
The sheriff's office does help and support, but it is other people in the community.
So anybody who wants to get involved in
Absolutely.
PAL,
They love
Police
volunteers.
Athletic League kind of gets it going, and they certainly have law enforcement and other people involved. However, individual citizens who want to get involved in a very worthy cause, that's something
Yes.
that you can do. So it's what, after hours and during the summer?
Yes.
Great, because that's so important, because with working families, school's out, and then,
Exactly.
so how do the kids get from school to whatever the PAL program is?
Most of them live nearby in the neighborhood, so it's a great centrally located place for the students who really need to be at PAL and have that opportunity that they wouldn't have somewhere else.
Well, that's terrific. And is it based on income? How does it work?
Usually, so, but they don't turn people away, which is great, so.
So in other words, if you can afford to chip
out.
in, that's preferred. However, if you can't, you won't be turned away.
Right, they do scholarships, and they do fee waivers if they're going on a field trip. They raise money and get donations from the community to cover those things.
Great. So let's talk about some of the other programs that we do at United Way.
So United Way, one of our other programs that we do that we're really proud of is our Reading Pals program. Our Reading Pals program is a statewide program funded by the Children's Movement, and the whole goal is early childhood literacy. So we recruit volunteers to read to kindergarten students for 1 hour a week. I know you have listeners from all over, which is fantastic, and I encourage you, if no matter what county you are living in, to reach out to your local United Way and ask about the Reading Pal program. It is incredibly worthwhile. It gives you such a great feeling. But I can tell you, for example, last year we finally got back into the schools after COVID, because even though schools started, they weren't letting volunteers in. So it was mid-year, probably February, when we got back in. My two students, they could not even recognize all of their letters. They're 5 years old. It's February in kindergarten, and they still couldn't tell me the difference between a D and a B, a C and an S, the sounds of those letters. And that's really because during COVID, they didn't have early childhood education. Their parents were either working remotely or completely stressed, so there wasn't a lot of interaction. So it was a major difference in the students from the year prior. They were much more prepared.
Okay, Jennifer, we're going to take a 60-second break. I want to follow up with a few questions about this PALS literacy program because it's something that's near and dear to my heart and I think is critical to make sure that all of our young kids have a chance. We're going to be back in 60 seconds with Meldon Law and Friends.
Oh my gosh, I can't even believe this. Look what you have done to my truck.
Excuse me, it's your fault, it's not my fault.
Yes, it is your
No,
fault.
it's not, no,
I am
it's not.
calling Jeffrey Meldon from Meldon Law.
So I'm gonna call Jeffrey, my husband.
Meldon Law, this is Jeffrey speaking.
This crazy lady here, this crazy lady here might...
New client?
Yes, but this one might be a little tricky.
Well, I was in a truck accident. Because of the accident, I've resulted in 3 back surgeries. We saw advertisements on TV, and guess who popped up more often than not? It was Jeffrey. The communication that he provided was so appreciative. He shows his compassion as a human. He assisted us in achieving one of our dreams, the acquisition of a home, and we're here today with smiles on our face with the assistance from Jeffrey.
Welcome back to Meldon Law and Friends. I'm Jeffrey Meldon, attorney and founder of Meldon Law, and we're so excited today to have Jennifer Ankers with us from the United Way of Suwannee Valley. And Jennifer, I loved hearing you talk about the literacy program for kids because it breaks my heart to hear about kids who move into kindergarten, first grade without the skills necessary to compete. It's they have enough challenges in their life. Not being literate certainly holds everybody back, and in many instances, they're never able to catch up.
So very true, and that's why we really encourage volunteers to work with the Reading Pals program. It's 1 hour a week. We have a lot of retired individuals, and we also have a lot of working individuals. A lot of businesses in Columbia and Suwannee County and Hamilton County are allowing their employees to take an hour or so from their workday to go to their local school to read to a kindergarten student.
Well, that's terrific, and I'm sure there's programs like that throughout the state of Florida.
Yes, there are. So again, whichever county you live in, I encourage you reach out to your local United Way and ask them about their Reading Pal program. Most of the United Ways do have a Reading Pals program, and it's really a great way to get involved in the school system and just to give back to a child who is really in need.
Well, thank you for everything you do with the PALS program. What are some of the other things that you got going at United Way?
So the other thing the United Way of Suwannee Valley does is we are the local homeless coalition. It is required by HUD that every community have a homeless coalition. So we write state and federal grants to assist those who are experiencing homelessness and those who are at risk of becoming homeless to help them through case management, help them get stabilized and be able to get back up on their feet.
And are there quite a few people in your area that need help like that?
There really are. We have a homeless population, then we have individuals who are at risk of homelessness. And the problem in today's world, is every community is experiencing, is the rent prices have gone up so high that it's almost impossible for a person to get out of that spiraling issue of either being homeless or receiving an eviction notice. And it's coming off of COVID where people were losing their jobs and not being able to pay their rent. So it's a real difficult time right now.
I know that there's a lot of folks that they're working hard, they're doing the best they can at supporting their family, and they're still not able to make it work.
Absolutely. I think one of the biggest things we saw in the Columbia and Suwannee and Hamilton areas was when COVID started, you had a lot of very hardworking people, like you're talking about, who were in restaurant businesses, childcare businesses, businesses that truly had to shut down, businesses that don't pay you to be closed. And, once you lose a paycheck or two or three, it's really hard to get back on your feet again. And so we're still seeing a little bit of a spiraling effect from that.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm looking at all these things that you're involved in. We've got Voices for Children. What's that all about?
So our community investment fund, which I do want to stress, does not fund anything related to the homeless population. All of our services for the homeless population are funded by state and federal grants. So all of the dollars we get that are donated to us through the community investment fund do go to local non-for-profits. And the reason that they go to local non-for-profits is these are smaller agencies in our four-county area who really don't have the time or the staff to fundraise for themselves. And so we'd rather them taking care of children or taking care of the elderly, and then the community help through the community investment fund and through the grants that we do. So Voices for Children is a not-for-profit leg of the guardian ad litem in Columbia, Suwannee, Lafayette, and Hamilton counties. And so they do a lot of advocacy work in addition to what the guardians do, which is a fantastic job. The Voices for Children, they try to find ways to pick up the slack that government can't pay for. For example, a lot of children who are removed from their home, they take their belongings in trash bags, which is absolutely horrible. And how humiliating that is for a child. You're already so traumatized by being removed from your parents, and now you're carrying around a trash bag with your beloved teddy bear and a few clothes. So Voices for Children does campaigns to raise dollars or donations for suitcases and for proper clothing and for backpacks so that they can get back into school real quickly.
Well, that's so important because no child deserves to be humiliated.
No, not at all.
And so I'm very glad that you're doing that. What are some other things we're doing in United Way?
So our community investment fund is completely handled by volunteers, and I think I want to stress that because I think that's important to know that staff don't make decisions how these funds are used. We have a group of volunteers that range from bankers to financial advisors to retired citizens, educators, who review all of the applications that we get for this funding. They look at their financials, they look at their outcomes, they go visit, they do presentation, they hear presentations from each of the agencies, and they really figure out where the gaps are in Columbia, Hamilton, Lafayette, and Suwannee County, and try to put the funds that we work so hard all year long that we raise to those agencies and those gaps in the community.
Yeah, I noticed that you're involved in things like the Boy Scouts of America and American Red Cross. What's your engagement with those agencies?
Yes, we do fund those from the Community Investment Fund. They get a small portion of that fund because we do have Boy Scout clubs and Girl Scout clubs in our four-county area, and these clubs are so important. Just another thing for our children to get involved in. We need to get our children involved in great outlets, which the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, I'm a former Girl Scout, we know, it's really important.
I was a Cub Scout.
Excellent.
I don't know if I got to a Boy Scout. For some reason, I don't know what, I got distracted when the Boy Scouts came around.
Other activities, which is great that you had those opportunities, and we want to make sure that we're able to reach out to others who get those opportunities. So our funding of the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts actually funds scholarships again. So we're very proud to be able to provide agencies scholarships so that they can truly help children who really want to be involved and help them in a way where they're not embarrassed because they are getting a scholarship and they can feel like part of the rest of the group.
You know, I think it's very important. It sounds like you are aware that children can have their feelings hurt, their esteem. You want to promote healthy self-esteem, and it sounds like in a lot of these programs, they're designed to promote healthy growth of children.
Yes, United Way worldwide, we fight for the education, financial stability, and health of every citizen in our community. And children really are a big part of that. When COVID hit, we really saw how it impacted the education of our children, the financial stability of our residents, the health of everyone. And it really caused us to take a deeper look at what we're doing and how we're doing it. And so I'm really pleased that we are just surrounded by an amazing community in Columbia, Suwannee, Lafayette, and Hamilton counties, great groups of volunteers, board members, committee members who are committed to our children, committed to our elderly, committed to our community, committed to their neighbors.
Well, Jennifer, we recently opened up a office in Lake City to service
Yes.
your community. I've been handling cases in Columbia County, Suwannee County for years and years and years. However, we saw the growth within the community and decided that rather than have folks drive down to Gainesville to meet with us, that we would open up a Meldon Law branch right there in the Suwannee Valley.
Which is great.
Which I didn't even know that term Suwannee Valley existed. Is it really a valley?
I don't think so.
But it sounds cool.
Maybe one day.
It
I don't
sounds
know.
cool. The Suwannee Valley. It's got to be. Yeah. Anyhow, for you folks that have not been to the area surrounding, Columbia County, Suwannee County, Hamilton County, Lafayette County. Those are beautiful communities. There's a lot going on, some agriculture, some non-agriculture. The folks there, many of them have lived there for long periods of time. However, a lot of new folks are moving in there. If you want to have a little farm and have a nice place to live and a healthy atmosphere, it's a very cool place to go. Right? I
It
think
really
that's
is.
one of the. Have you noticed the fact that a lot more people are taking interest in moving in that area?
Oh, absolutely. There has been a lot of growth and a lot of new folks moving in from Miami to other states. So it's great to have new people.
Yeah, we have a lot of friends up in the Lake City area now, and they're talking. It's so funny because it's still a very rural community. However, the growth and changes that have taken place over the last 10, 15 years for the locals is changing the landscape quite a bit. There's certainly a lot of growth as far as where you can shop now, what restaurants are there. Right in Lake City, right on US 90. It's amazing all the growth that's taking place there.
And we're so glad to have you in our community. So your offices are absolutely beautiful. Your staff are so kind and helpful. So welcome to Lake City. I'll tell you that again, and we're really glad to have you.
Well, we're there for good. We love our family up in Lake City, and we're having a really good time getting to know everybody. And we look forward to servicing the community in the future. We're getting near the end here, so I want you to give a call to action to everybody, what they should do if they want to help out with the Suwannee Valley United Way.
Well, if you live in Columbia, Hamilton, Lafayette, or Suwannee counties, please look at our website. Give me a call. We'd love to have you get involved. But no matter where you're listening from and where you live, reach out to your local United Way. We are all partners. We all try to help each other. And the United Way is just a great place to get involved. And every community in Florida and elsewhere has a wonderful United Way.
Well, thank you very much, Jennifer Anchors, for joining us on Meldon Law and Friends. We're going to take a 3-minute break, and we'll be back with Meldon Law and Friends.
Oh my gosh, I can't even believe this. Look what you have done to my truck.
Excuse me, it's your fault, it's not my fault.
Yes, it is your
No,
fault.
it's not, no,
I am
it's not.
calling Jeffrey Meldon from Meldon Law.
So I'm gonna call Jeffrey, my husband.
Meldon Law, this is Jeffrey speaking.
This crazy lady here, this crazy lady, he might...
New client?
Yes, but this one might be a little tricky. When you're a member of the Gator Nation, you know what it means to never back down. Meldon Law has been a proud supporter of the Gator Nation since 1971. Two forces that won't back down. As the old saying goes, if you can't beat 'em, join 'em. We still hear it. The sound of victory. The joy of being part of something great. And while things may not be the same right now, we haven't gone anywhere. If you bleed orange and blue, then Meldon Law is the firm for you.
We are here at the University of Florida, where Albert and Alberta are competing in the Gator penalty shootout. Albert is ready to stop the shot at all costs. What a disaster! Luckily, Meldon Law is the only official law firm partner of the Florida Gators. If you have suffered any injury, do not worry, because Meldon Law is going to help you with your recovery. Meldon Law doesn't back down until they reach their goal.
Alberta, I understand you were witnesses to a crash. Can you tell us about the accident? When you're in a crash, it's important to get witness statements immediately after the accident. Whether you're in a car, truck, motorcycle, scooter, or even a golf cart accident, at Meldon Law, we won't back down.
And I was in an accident. Someone ran a red light and hit me, and I was hurt. You don't know where to turn. Luckily, I called Jeffrey. These big insurance companies, they don't want you to win. They truly don't. But Jeffrey and his firm and the people that work here, they just really fight for you. You call the law offices of Jeffrey Meldon, because you're going to need help, and they will help you.
Welcome back to Meldon Law and Friends. We've had a great show so far, and again, I want to let everybody know that if you go to the Meldon Law Facebook page, you're going to find out some great giveaways. We're giving away tickets for the big Utah game coming up September 3rd, and please check it out. You also get a $100 gift certificate from Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, where we are broadcasting from in their fabulous podcast room, and you can see Coach Spurrier's helmets behind us. A very exciting place, and we're really having a terrific time. We're approaching 2 full years of podcasts, so that's pretty cool. I think we're on episode 96 or something like that, and I guess we should have a party when we hit 2 years. I guess that'd be 104 episodes. So we appreciate everyone listening and watching to Meldon Law and Friends. Thank you very much. Share it with your friends. Let them know that we've got great community leaders coming on the show, and we fill you in on what's going on as far as giveaways. Lady Gator Volleyball is in action. We're giving away tickets for Lady Gator Volleyball, and they won a tournament this weekend in Gainesville. That was a big deal. Well, we've also got the Matheson Museum, History of Music in Gainesville, and the Great Southern Music Hall in the 1970s, opening up October 30th at the Matheson Museum, right on University Avenue in Gainesville. We are also sponsoring a number of different events throughout the communities to support what's going on locally. And check out our preseason Gator memorabilia giveaway. We had all this memorabilia in the office and decided to have a little party giving it away. So go on Meldon Law Facebook and you will see it. Just go to giveaways and you'll see everything that's going on. Today we're joined for our second half of the show by Dr. Laban Doyle. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic.
Did I pronounce your first name right?
Yes, sir, you did. Yes, sir, you did.
And now, Laban, you are the director over at the Boys and Girls Club of Northeast Florida. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. So I have had a number of roles over there recently. Have been with the Boys and Girls Club for over 5 years, and specifically here in the Gainesville area for the last 3. Have served as the interim executive director and area director, and now really helping in our community development engagement area as a manager there. Yes, sir.
Well, tell us a little bit about what the Boys and Girls Club of Northeast Florida does.
Absolutely. So the Boys and Girls Club of Northeast Florida really serves to provide after-school programs for our lower income students who don't have necessarily the opportunity to participate in anything after school, or let alone help them accelerate in their academics. So we really accentuate on some STEM opportunities, academic and career opportunities, and we really try to provide an after-school opportunity for those kids that need it most. Now, we don't babysit. So a lot of people think, oh, well, you know, nonprofits and Boys and Girls do babysitting. No, we do watch your kids, but we do provide quality programming to really help them succeed where they need it most. So we do serve kids between the ages of 6 to 18, primarily that elementary, middle school area, really just to help them with mentorship, academic support, homework support, but just a safe place for them to go after school.
Now, whenever I drive by the boys club, I always see kids playing football. I know inside they're playing basketball and stuff.
Oh, absolutely. So we have a kind of a dual opportunity. We do have an elaborate sports program where we provide middle school, high school, flag football, basketball programs. Now, that's primarily what most people know the Boys and Girls Club for or see, but there's a lot going on inside the building as well, and that's those programs for kids.
Yeah, I know my son, Kerry, used to go play basketball over there at the boys club, and it was pretty exciting because, you know, they had real, league games there.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. We do have some hopes and dreams for our current gym situation. We're trying to upgrade that to a place where it's more hospitable and suitable for our kids. But we do provide the basketball opportunities and some just indoor sports, whether it's, they're doing that indoor hockey and just other things that we just try to make it creative for our kids to participate in.
So if people want to help, fix up the gym and do things like that, what do they need to do?
They can check us out on www.bgcnf.org. They can go on to our Alachua sports programs, and they can reach out to us about the amazing opportunities we actually have to continue to upgrade our programs here locally.
So if you can't remember all that, just put the Boys and Girls Club of Northeast Florida and Google it, and you'll probably figure it out,
yes,
right?
Sir. Yes, sir.
So there are opportunities to help. I'll tell you, I've always been a big fan of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Florida because in our own family, our kids participated. I drive by there and see kids just loving whatever activities are going on inside the building, outside the building. And boy, this is the time of year when you see all the kids playing pee-wee football, right?
Exactly. So we are primed and ready for our middle school and flag football season. I know all the parents are getting excited for Florida Gator football, but you can also come out to the Boys and Girls Club football and participate in that as well. So it's a very educational kind of learning level for our kids and for them to kind of grow and adapt in that early passion that they have.
Do they have any recruiters out there looking at the boys?
Well, we live in Gainesville, so we won't necessarily say whether we do or not. But
I know it's kind of funny because how old are the boys that are throwing the ball around there?
Oh, they start at 11, 12 years old. Yeah. And it's literally the beginning of the journey for them for lifelong football for sure.
I know, and we are in Gator country, so everybody
Indeed.
loves. And I've noticed that we're starting to recruit local kids more. They got three recruits out of Buchholz. We've got the recruit out of Columbia County. We've got Anthony Richardson out of Eastside. And I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of those kids were involved in the Boys and Girls Club program.
So traditionally, a lot of kids in the high school and the college programs do come through our schools, especially if they're local. And we do have an opportunity. We have a great new sports program director. He's providing scholarship opportunities for many of our kids all around town. That if they don't have the dollars or the opportunity, we will sponsor them and help encourage them and give them opportunities, wear uniforms, to participate in the leagues so that they too themselves can have an opportunity in their high schools.
And what are some of the leadership training programs that you have for the kids as far as teaching them, how to be responsible members of the community?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's kind of an underlining gird of the whole thing that we do here at the Boys and Girls Club. From the moment they come in to the moment they graduate, we really try to emphasize the importance of education and graduating on time. We really have a high successful graduation rate. We're somewhere above the 90% level of all of our students that participate. But we really encourage mentorship, we encourage leadership, we encourage responsibility, and that comes through a multitude of different programs, whether it's through sports and learning how to be a good team member, whether it goes through our STEM program and learning how to be learn new skills and things to be more active and available in our community. We've got kids learning how to operate drones. That now today we know that even in our armies, they're now learning how to send missiles with our drone systems. Not that we're teaching our kids how to send missiles, but it's all those really tangible skills that they need to be successful in today's day and age.
Yeah, I know that the STEM programs have been prioritized.
Yes, sir.
So that's where a lot of the successful jobs are going to be now and in the future.
Absolutely, 100%. So we're really integrating our kids from a financial standpoint of how to be smart financially, but also with the STEM, science, technology, education, and mathematics, and connecting with organizations like NASA, who are teaching them how to do drones, how are teaching them how to do robotics and all kinds of other things. But just learning those tangible skills that it's not just about playing video games, but it's using those skills that they're learning to be successful in a job career in the future.
Yeah, and are there any instructional activities that go on there besides the athletic activities?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, so we have tutoring every day. So we definitely help our lower age kids between first grade to third grade to help with their reading levels. We know that here in Alachua County, our reading level is a little bit lower. So we're helping them academically with their reading levels as well as mathematics. In addition to their science. And then we do that all the way through to the point where they graduate. So we really try to do a holistic approach from schools to fun to sports to academics and arts and all the things that really engage them as a student.
And what age group do you service?
So we service any kids between the age of 6 and 18. So that's basically first grade through 12th grade.
And what do parents need to do if they want to get their kids involved?
If they want to get their kids involved with us at the Boys and Girls, so here's one of the greatest things, and we want to basically give honor to a couple of our donors, and that's I don't know if you've heard of the Children's Trust of Alachua County, but they have been a huge support for us here locally that have allowed us to basically eliminate all of our costs for all of our students. So anybody that's eligible for our program gets it for free. So if they would just go to our website, they would have an opportunity to go on to the application, look for Northwest Boys and Girls Club or our Woodland Park Boys and Girls Club, and as long as they're eligible, they would have a free opportunity to participate in any of all of our programs.
Well, that's terrific. I want to follow up some more on the different programs after we come back from our break. So you have two locations now, right?
Yes, sir.
There's Woodland. It's called Woodland Park.
Yep, Woodland Park, which is out on the southeast end of town, off of 4th Place, in the housing complex there. And then we also have the Northwest Club, which most people are familiar with. That's where our football fields are, as well as where a number of local community members have grown up at.
Well, we know at Northwest 51st Street, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So anyhow, we're sitting here talking with Dr. Laban Doyle, and we're going to be back in 60 seconds on Meldon Law and Friends. Alberta, I understand you were witnesses to a crash. Can you tell us about the accident? When you're in a crash, it's important to get witness statements immediately after the accident. Whether you're in a car, truck, motorcycle, scooter, or even a golf cart accident, at Meldon Law, we won't back down.
Being a client at Meldon Law was special because I felt like I was really being listened to and I felt welcome by the entire staff. If I were in a situation where I needed legal advice and help, I would absolutely reach out to Jeffrey because his reputation alone speaks for itself. But on a personal level, I know that he would take care of me and help me solve those problems, and I would feel safe with him.
Welcome back to Meldon Law and Friends. I'm Jeffrey Meldon, your host and co-founder of Meldon Law with my son, Kerry Meldon. Welcome. We're really glad to have you here. We've been talking with Dr. Laban Doyle from the Boys and Girls Clubs, Northeast Florida, and we want to get back with him in just a minute. I want to remind everybody that we have tons of giveaways at Meldon Law's Facebook page, so check it out, and also tell your friends about the show. Meldon Law is dedicated to helping seriously injured people put their lives back together after a serious accident. So give us a call, 352-373-8000, or just go to meldonlaw.com, and we'll be glad to help you out. We've also got lots of books that are free that I've written that help you understand what the legal landscape is like, what kind of insurance you need, what to do in the event of an accident, and how to help decide what the next step is. Dr. Doyle, I'm looking at your brochure here, and I find it fascinating because the mission statement is so important to all of us. The mission statement for the Boys Club includes to enable all young people, especially those who need us most, to reach their full potential as productive, caring, and responsible citizens. And I want to commend you for that mission, because I think you and I have had enough life experience to know that to a great extent, by the time you're 10 or 12 years old, if you're behind the 8 ball as far as skills and learning skills, it's really hard to catch up.
Yeah, that's very true. I was just listening to you share the Meldon Law vision and statement about helping people in broken, hurting situations. And that's really one of our goals here at the Boys and Girls Club, is to really connect with families and young people, as we say, when they need it most. Because like you said, at the age of 10 to 12, we come into contact with all kinds of things. Now, let alone your and I generations are a little bit different than maybe this generation, when now they're exposed to a whole lot more things a whole lot earlier. And so what we're learning is if we can connect with them even earlier, it's so much more important to help get them on the right track, especially with mentorship, which is a huge component for young people today. Just having somebody to be able to talk to from a safe a perspective where they can have somebody listen to them, because a lot of times, unfortunately, their parents aren't there. The community's not there. There aren't individuals that are really being able to listen and help them through those situations. And not that we have all the answers, but we do have opportunities for them to seek out opportunities, to find a trustworthy adult, to look into opportunities for them to succeed, but then also to put them hopefully on a trajectory for them to succeed.
You know, and I feel very blessed. I was born into a stable family and had, nurturing parents. And on the other hand, I've also been exposed to people in my lives who haven't had that opportunity, and to see what happens when someone doesn't have the educational background, the support system behind them.
Yeah.
And it's actually, miraculous how good some kids do in pretty dysfunctional homes.
You bring up a good point, because I think too often we categorize kids based on where they come from versus who they are. And what I mean by that is we're all the people. We all have issues. We all have circumstances. Now, the how much money we have or the opportunities we have may be different. But overall, all of us as people are people. and we have the same struggles and circumstances that we're facing. How we come about working through those, but also some of the impacts we have on that do have impacts. However, we're all just people. And we all need support, we all need encouragement, especially, we sometimes want to label them as, well, that's our lower income families, but some of our higher income families are dealing with the same problems. We just don't necessarily identify that. But our goal is to reach all those families, especially those in need.
Yeah. Money doesn't ensure happiness, but neither does poverty.
Exactly.
And that was actually one of my father's favorite sayings. Is that, to be happy, I think you need a nurturing background. You need the basic necessities of life.
Sure.
Food on the table, a roof over your head, and some structure within your life. And the mission, of the Boys Club has to do with helping kids create some structure within their life, significant mentors that they can look to for direction when it may not be available at home because of a number of different circumstances.
And you bring up a great point there too. We do provide meals for our kids when they come on site, meals and snacks. We pick them up from school. We transport them through our clubs.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, sir.
That's really important.
We try to eliminate every barrier that they may or may not have in order for them to get to be a part of the club. We do field trips. We do college and career trips. We do all sorts of things, again, at no cost to our families or their students. But we want to make sure they have a healthy mentor, a healthy meal, and a healthy opportunity where they're with us.
We are in Meldon Law and Friends, and we're having a great conversation with Dr. Laban Doyle from the Boys Club. And I'm reading some of the core beliefs here, and I think it's important to restate them. Number one, a safe place to learn and grow. Number two, ongoing relationships with caring adult professionals. Number three, life-enhancing programs and character-developing experiences. And fourth, hope and opportunity. I can't tell you how important hope and opportunity is, even for us who do fairly well, right? We have our days where we're challenged, right?
Exactly.
And we have to sometimes coach ourselves up and go, okay, we're going to get through this, and we're going to, do it. And we dig down deep and figure out ways to get through no matter what, how challenging the circumstances are.
Yeah.
However, a lot of that is based on early childhood development.
Absolutely. And sometimes I think we underestimate the resiliency of our kids today. They're oftentimes more resilient than us as adults. But at the same time, they are trying to figure out, how do I get through these circumstances? They don't have necessarily a parent or a mentor, an individual to kind of lead them and guide them through that, but they're definitely resilient. And in the process of that, it's really trying to help them channel that resiliency to help them succeed beyond some of the things that they're taught in their communities that may not be necessarily healthy, but in order for them to truly have hope and opportunity to succeed in the days ahead. And I can tell you, some of these kids that are coming through our systems today will be our next leaders, our next presidents, our next quarterbacks, our next coaches, because they've come through the grind of the reality that we're facing today.
So how long have you been over there at the Boys Club?
So I have been with the Boys and Girls Club of Northeast Florida for 5 years. I've been here locally in the Gainesville area for the last 3 years. However, I've been in the nonprofit executive management field for over 20 years, and just have a deep passion for not just our young people, but our young leaders that are rising up to continue to serve in this area. Because not only do we need to encourage our young people, but we need to encourage a whole new generation that's going to empower our young people for the days ahead.
Well, what you're doing is the boots on the ground, where you're actually interacting with young kids. Are any of the kids that have, I call it, graduated from the program, do any of them get back, continue to help out with some of the younger kids?
Yeah, so we actually have some great success stories. We have a couple individuals, even here locally, who literally grew up in the Boys and Girls Club. They came on staff after they graduated. They're now program directors and looking at the opportunity of continuing to move up in our organization to higher levels. And that's really what we want to see. We really want to see that what we're doing is impactful, but even locally, we do have an impact on our local people.
Well, that's great, because as a young person, if you have a chance to mentor another young person,
Absolutely.
It's one of the best ways to develop leadership skills.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about, taking what you've learned and passing that on to somebody else, which is why our sports programs and everything else we do is so beneficial, because it's all about passing on to the next generation.
I love the core promise is to provide a safe and positive place and to have a significant impact on their lives. And if you can do that, I think that's the greatest gift that you can do, is to help one kid at a time succeed.
Yeah, I even think of my own daughter. She's 12 years old. She's coming into her own, and Dad can't do everything for her, right? But being able to have people that come alongside us to support her and encourage her, she's in gymnastics, she's in cheer, she's in all these other activities. But to have other people reinforcing the very things that we're reinforcing makes us feel better as people, but also know that we have a future, especially for our kids, that they have a hope and a future.
Does your daughter follow the Gator gymnastics program?
Actually, she does not. We actually live a little bit north of town. She's gotten completely into this whole thing, and the whole cheerleading of it, that's a whole nother world, brother.
So is she into cheerleading? Or
Yeah,
is she
so
in
she's a
gymnastics?
professional cheerleader, but she loves the gymnastics part of it.
Okay, well, listen, I'm going to invite you and your daughter to come to a Gator gymnastics event
Oh, she'd be sold.
this winter, because Meldon Law is a big supporter of Gator gymnastics, and last year I think they finished number 2 in the country, and
awesome.
and it's a packed arena. It's so exciting, and you're seeing Olympic athletes like
Yeah.
Trinity Thomas is coming back for her senior year or super senior year. And we'll be watching her in the next Olympics, because
Wow.
she's that talented. And the Gators have like 4 or 5 women gymnastic team members that have the potential to be Olympic competitors. So right here in our little town of Gainesville,
Yeah.
Florida, and North Central Florida, it's really fun. And my daughter, she was all excited about athletics growing up, and tennis, and she did some horseback riding, since we're in North Central Florida.
Okay,
And,
yeah.
Ocala is right here,
Exactly.
the horse capital of the world, and all those activities are what you're talking about. You're talking about, really doesn't matter the activity.
Exactly.
It's more creating some structure, making it exciting, having good role models while you're involved. So we really appreciate everything that the Boys and Girls Club does. While we're finishing up Meldon Law and Friends, I want you to just tell folks again what to do if they want to get involved, either in donating or in getting their kids involved.
Yeah, we're really at a prime time here locally. We've had some transitions that we're really excited about. We have some opportunities to upgrade our building and some other program needs that we have.
Yeah, the basketball court, I've heard, needs
Yeah,
a lot of help.
exactly.
If anybody wants to do something great for the kids of Alachua County, go over to the Boys Club. Take a look at the basketball court, and you will see what needs to be done.
Absolutely.
To help out. And so just go to the Boys and Girls Club,
Yep.
Northeast Florida.
Yep.
That's the official title.
It's www.bgcnf.org.
If you guys can remember all that, then more power to you. I just Google everything and try to find
Absolutely,
it.
absolutely.
So anyhow, Dr. Doyle, it's been a pleasure having you. We look forward to many more visits from you over the years to keep us up to date. And we want to thank everybody for watching and listening to Meldon Law and Friends. Thank you very much.